Good morning. Today's going to be a refresher class, again, a simple class so that those of you perhaps have had a little break from Pilates can get back into it again. So away we go. We're going to start by setting ourselves up. So I'd like you to press your big toe and your little toe down into the mat. Soften your knees. Gently lift the arch of the foot and just you'll feel like it engages your bottom muscles. Then bring your hands to your waist and just tip that pelvis forward and then tuck your tailbone underneath you and tuck it underneath. Tip forward again, sticking that rear out behind you and then tuck it underneath. Just 2 or 3 of those just to start to get your pelvis tilting. And then when you feel your pelvis rim is level, draw in on those lower abdominals, suck up on the pelvic floor. I'd like you to widen those collarbones and squeeze the shoulder blades down against your chest wall. Imagine that the points of the shoulder blades are going into back pockets on your jeans. I would like you to lift your head as if you had a helium balloon, just gently drawing you upwards. And hopefully you're already feeling a bit taller and a little bit more control. And we're going to start with just dropping the head and then looking up to the ceiling and then drop down and look up, just loosening those neck muscles. That's one of those, and then turn your head to the left and to the right, back to the left, just easing that rotation, trying to keep control of your core, make sure it's just your neck that is moving, the shoulder blades are still pinned back, the core is engaged, gentle squeeze on your glutes, and making good contact with the floor. And then we're going to go sideways, taking your ear towards your left shoulder and reaching away with that right arm, fingertips reaching down towards the floor. Just hold that stretch for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we'll go the other way. So gently tipping the head to the right and reach those fingertips away from you. Really feel that nice stretch down through the neck and down through the forearm, right to the fingertips. Just a few more seconds hold there. And then we're going to start by just shrugging and loosening that neck. I'd like you to bring your arms up. Just pop your hands behind your head for me. And we're going to do 3 shrugs up, bringing your shoulders up towards your ears and dropping down. So breathe out to lift up and drop them on that in-breath. And drop, and then reach those hands up above your head. Make a big circle round, coming back up again in front of you. Drop the hands behind the head again, and using your breath cycle, you're going to breathe out to shrug those shoulders. Breathe in to release. Breathe out to shrug. Breathe in to release. Breathe out to shrug, drawing in on that core. Reach those hands up above your head. Circle those hands round. Last time, up we come again. Drop them behind your head. Breathing out. Breathing in. Breathe it out. Breathe it in. Breathe it out. Breathe in. Reaching those hands back and come just in front of you. And we're just going to twist behind, keeping the hips facing forward. Imagine a set of headlights on the front of your pelvis. You're keeping those headlights facing the front. And you can rotate, you can take your vision round, follow your thumb with your gaze. And so round we go. Again, using your out breath for that movement behind you, in breath to come back in front of you. Making sure that you've got those shoulder blades still tucked down against that chest wall. Okay, bringing the hands back in front of you, we're going to split and split. Now, as that right hand goes high, I want you to still think about having that shoulder blade low. And then switch and switch. So we're calling this toy soldier arms. And this is just to mobilize the scapula or the shoulder blade and get those arms moving. Okay, crisscross those fingertips just onto the top of your shoulders, and a much smaller rotation this time. For 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hands back in front of you, but bring the elbows down, tucked in to your chest, and then just reach them forward, curving round in that thoracic spine and dropping the head, and then bring them back in close to you, lifting the head. This time reach up, looking up as if you're trying to catch a beach ball. Bring the elbows, tuck them back into your side. We're going forward, reaching and dropping the head and rounding through the thoracic spine. Tucking the elbows back, and on the next exhale, reaching up, coming back in on the inhale, reaching forward on the outhale, drawing back in on the inhale, exhale, reach it up, inhale, come back, exhale, reach forward, inhale, come back, exhale, reach up, inhale, come down, exhale, reach forward, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Last one, reaching up. Fantastic. Okay, we're going to go down into a small curve down to bring your hands to your knees, a small curve of the spine, and then arch and lift the head. Drop the head again, curve through that upper spine. Bring those shoulders back down, really feeling your movement of that shoulder blade around the chest wall. So start dropping the head, let the shoulders curve forward, and then roll that down. Soften the knee joints, and then arch back through the other way. Really focusing on what your spine is doing for me here. And then drop that head, curve through the spine, scoop through the abdominals, roll those shoulders back. And again, away we go again, dropping the head, let the shoulders start to curve, rolling through the middle of the back. When your hands hit your knees, you soften those knees, start to lift the head and curve the back the other way. And then drop the head, scoop through the abdominals, and come back up. This time we're just going to do a little squat. So the hands are coming forward to balance us, and then we're coming back up. Hands are coming forward, turn them to face each other, and bring them back. Drop down forward, so it's almost like a skiing position, and come back up. Drop forward, come back up. Drop forward, come back up. We're going to do 8 of these. We've got 4 more to go. And 3, and 2, and 1. Lovely. Hands back to your waist. We're just going to do simple lifts of those, getting those heels off the ground, keeping that pelvis level. Imagine that your pelvis is a bucket of water, and as you're raising up, you're keeping your balance, and you're just drawing up as if somebody's got a string on the top of your head and they're just drawing you up, and come back down. This time we're going to hold when we're up there, and then drop one heel and bend one knee forward, come back up, hold, drop the other side, hold at the tiptoe, drop the heel, hold and drop. So nice and slow and controlled. That's great. Testing your balance and working those calves. So warming up those feet. And you're ideally not swaying that hip from side to side as you change position. You're just getting that vertical lift. And then we can bring the arms into this. So the opposite arm to opposite leg. So it's a slow motion marching walk. And again, you're minimizing that body shift from side to side. Fantastic. Okay, settle those heels back down. Bring those elbows just comfortably close to you. And we're going to do our dumb waiter of just drawing those shoulders out and coming back in. Drawing outwards and come back in. Breathing out, drawing back in. Feel that tummy tighten a little bit more as those shoulders go out, and you feel those shoulder blades squeezing together across your back. Sometimes less is more. When we're not trying to move, we can really focus on what's happening between those shoulder blades. Okay, let's take that a little bit further. We're going to reach those arms up, but it's a float up. It's not a shrug. We're keeping those shoulders drawn down. You're going to turn them over for me. And we're just staying out. We're just going to turn 10 times. Turning down and up, using that small breath cycle. And then we're just keeping the palms down, just a little circle. Change direction, go the other way for me. Still pinning those shoulder blades down, still feeling that core tight, pelvic floors engaged. Still pressing those big toes, getting that nice contact with the floor. Okay, and then bring those arms back in and just shake them out for a second. Fantastic. Right, we're going to drop into a full roll down now. So you're going to go back to dropping that head, going through the thoracic spine, enter into the lumbar. Knees can be just a little soft if you've got tight hamstrings, and just drop all the way down towards the floor. Try and relax there, and then start your ascent again. So scoop through the tummy, stacking one vertebrae to the next vertebrae into the thoracic spine. Draw those shoulders back, reach those arms up above your head, circle them back round and down we go again. We're going to do 6 of these. Down towards the floor, feeling that stretch in the back of the hamstrings, drawing the tummy in, bringing yourself back up, round those shoulders back, reach those hands above the head, give me a big circle round, and again, roll the head, dropping down, hold for a breath sequence here and just ease one knee and then the other back. And then start your rise again. Head comes back up, shoulders go backwards, arms lift. Big circle with those arms. We've got 3 more to go. And again, we're going to hesitate at the bottom. Bring the tips near the floor if you can get there. And just lift a heel this time. And then push that heel back down, and that'll have the effect of just pushing into that calf and hamstring. And then start ascent again. Up we come. Circle those shoulders, reach up above your head. Draw that big circle around with the arms. And we go again. Right down. Hopefully each time your hamstrings are just giving that little bit more back to just lifting those heels. And then coming back up. Circle those shoulders, reach those hands up, round you go. I've got the last one to go down.
curving all the way down. This time I'm going to be reaching down to my knuckles and just ease both those knees straight. And come back up for me. And this time I'd like you to widen into a plie. And we're just going to drop and come back up. Drop into that deep plie. Imagine again the pelvis is still that bucket of water, it's going straight down. So arms can come up to balance you. Okay, just hovering in that. I've come in a little bit narrow because I'm a little bit wide. I'd like you just to lift one foot, and lift the other foot, and lift. So we're in that little plie, and then we're just kicking one foot out, and then the other foot. Trying again not to sway the body too much. And you're probably all beginning to feel just a little bit of work going into your glutes behind your bottom. Okay, sink back into that squat and reach over to one side, straightening that left knee and reaching that left arm overhead. Circle it back through, hold the other knee and reach and stretch. Circle round and reach and circle round and reach, circle round and reach, circle round and reach. Breathing out to reach, breathing in to come back round. Okay, and final one there. Sink into that lower squat for me. Take both hands just above your head. I'm going to draw a little halo here. Your core is tight, but it's just the shoulders that are moving. And you're just sustaining that work on your leg muscles. Easing down to stretch your calves. Holding that tight core position. So there's a bit of balance work coming into this as well. Okay, bringing your hands back to your waist. Just lift to one toe, so the left heel's off the ground, and lift the right heel. Lift, lower. And just to do a last bit of work on the quadriceps muscles, just staying on one, and you're just doing that little ease up, ease down, ease up on the in-breath, ease down on the out-breath. And drop that heel. Last set, I know your legs are burning. Lift up on the in-breath, drop on the out-breath. Last one, really make that effort and rest. Let's walk those feet back in, give them a little shake, and we're going to find our way down to the mat. So let's go down through a roll down. So we're just rolling down and coming to lie on your back. So let's remind ourselves of the importance of the setup in lying. I want you just to imprint the centre of your back down into the bed and then arch that back up, imprint it down, arch it back up and go halfway, find that neutral. Make sure that your feet are in a sort of train track line with your hips and with your shoulders and with your head, that your body's in good straight alignment. Neck is in neutral. You could imagine there's a peach between your chin and your chest. And when you've got that nice position, I want you to then just draw in on those lower abdominals. Pull the pelvic floor up for me, and just consciously let those shoulder blades go. And you should just feel a gentle connection with the mat. And then I want you to inhale to prepare, and we're going to start with some scissors, where you're just going to float your right leg up into tabletop. Here you've got your thigh in the vertical and your shin in the horizontal. And then take that leg back down, not losing that 90-degree at the knee. Pick the other leg up on your in out breath and drop it on the in breath. Breathing out to lift, breathing in to lower. Switching legs. Breathing in as you lower, breathing out to lift. Okay, bringing your hands up to the horizontal above you. This time we're going to slide the right leg back away from us, and both hands are going overhead on your out breath, and bring back in on your in breath. And the other leg slides, hands reach above your head, and you come back in. Slide the right leg away, being really conscious of what's happening in the middle of your core, that you're not arching that back as your arms go overhead. Visualize that there's a grape under the center of your back, and you're keeping contact with it. You're not squashing it, but you're not allowing yourself to lose that contact. Okay, bringing your hands back down to your side. Bring that right leg back into the tabletop position, and then just extend it away on the out breath. Bring it back in on your in breath. Extend it away as if you're going towards a light switch, and bring it back in. So we're staying with the same leg. And it's very gentle, but it's still good core connection. And place that foot back down to the ground. Float the left leg up into tabletop. Inhale to prepare. And as you exhale, you're going to stretch it away as if your big toe is going to switch a light switch. And then come back in. Still being conscious that there's no rotation occurring in your spine. And you've got good connection with those lower abdominals. You're melting the rib cage down so there's no rib flaring occurring. Nice relaxed neck. Your upper body's on holiday. You should really feel a drawing down in that lower side of your deep hip flexors. And the core is controlling. So this is what's going to give you a lovely flat stomach. And let that leg come back down. We're going to do some work on hip twist now. So we're going to have those fingertips back up to the ceiling. And you're going to let your right leg fold out, and your hands are going back overhead and coming back in. Same leg. Fold out that right leg, let the hands reach overhead. Now, it's a little bit more difficult. It proves too difficult. You can always just leave those hands in the vertical and just do a leg twist. But because the arms are up in the air, you've still got less control than you would if you were down here, where you can be pressing those hands down into the mat. So try and leave those hands, fingertips pointed to the ceiling. If you can go with me, take them overhead. You're then having to control the back arching as well as the pelvis rolling. And let's switch to the other side. So left leg's going to roll, and it never feels the same. Invariably one side is an easier move than the other. So if you need to keep the hand still on that second side, not a problem. And you're aiming not to have any movement occurring in that static leg. I'll just do a couple more of the higher level one. Okay, bring those hands out in the horizontal. Bring your knees together, and we're just going to rock to one side, taking the gaze down the opposite arm, and then drop that palm down to the floor. So it's flat down, and you'll feel a little bit of a twist in the nerves in your arm. Then use your tummy to scoop you to bring your legs back up. Let those knees gently tip the other way, taking your gaze in the opposite direction and flattening that palm down. Trying to keep the shoulder blades in contact with the mat. Scoop the tummy. Let yourself come back up to that neutral. Gaze is in neutral. Palms are up to the ceiling. And then exhale. Let your knees tip to the left. Turn your head to the right and turn that palm down flat to the floor. Draw in on the abdominals. And then tip the other way. Okay, last one of that. Bring those hands back down to your side and bring your heels a little closer to your bottom. We're going to this time imprint the center of the spine down into the mat, just until you feel the bottom cheeks just leaving contact with your mat. And then push your knees away from you so that you squeeze up into your bottom cheeks. Imagine there's a £5 note squeezing between those cheeks, and you can't lose contact and drop that. You'll feel a little bit of stretch through the front of your quadriceps. At this point, I want you to stay up there and just lift those heels off the ground and drop the heels. Lifting up and dropping. For 3, for 4, we're going to 8, 5 and lower, 6 and lower, 7 and lower. Last one, 8, up onto those tiptoes, squeezing extra hard on the glutes. And then start your descent. You're going to try and get the middle of your back to touch the mat first. And then vertebra by vertebra, imagine a bicycle chain, just dropping back down to the mat. Lovely. And then bring one knee to the chest, bring the second knee to the chest, and just hug those in. And we're going to go and do that same move again. So you're going to imprint the back down into the mat. Pick the bottom cheeks just clear of the mat. Squeeze those cheeks as you draw the knees away from your body so that your shins are hopefully in the vertical. Nice relaxed shoulders, relaxed neck. And this time we're just going to squeeze those knees together and separate. Squeeze the knees together and separate. 3 and release. 4 and release. 5 and release. 6 and release. 7 and release. And 8 and release. And roll it back down. And then finally, a final 8 of just lifting straight up Squeeze at the top and roll it back down. And 2. Squeeze at the top and roll back down. So that you're lifting on your out breath and then slowly rolling back down on your in breath. And then rolling up. Breathing in to lower. Final one. Bring those knees in to your chest again, and then just a little circle round. And let one foot come to the floor, and then the other. Now we're going to do some hundreds. We're going to keep the head down. We're going to bring both feet up into a double tabletop position. If you feel that you're doming in the top of your tummy, bring those knees a little bit closer to you. But if you can let them slip away so that they're back in the vertical. And then I just want you to pat those arms. So you're going to do 5 pats on an out breath and 5 pats on an in breath. Breathe it in. Breathe it out. 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 Breathe it in. And breathe it out. Make sure you're not losing that control in the back. You can imagine that small blueberry just in the small of your back. You're not squeezing the center of your back down into the mat, but you're equally not arching it. Squeezing those knees. And then let those hands rest. Bring one foot back down to the mat. And bring the other foot back down to the mat. Your hands behind your head for me. I'm just going to do little crunches. Still keeping that blueberry neutral position in the spine. And just twisting. Give me 2 more. Final one. And this time leave the left hand behind your head. Right hand comes down by your side. Right leg comes up into a tabletop position. And you're going to just do a little twists. Letting that right hand slip down your mat. Head and shoulders coming up. And aiming your shoulder towards the opposite knee. Final one. Drop that leg. Switch those hands. Pick the left leg up into that tabletop position, drawing in on your core and just checking that you're happy with your positioning. Breathe in to prepare, and then as you exhale, you're lifting that shoulder towards the opposite knee, and the left hand is just gently sliding down your mat to assist that movement. Okay, rest those hands back by your side, float that leg back down and gently turn onto your side for me. And we're going to reach your right hand along the mat, head cushion between your head and your hand. And I want you to align your back to be completely straight and your feet would be level with your spine. So you've got like a 45-degree angle at the hip, nice degrees at the knee, and that top hand is just going to rest along over the top of your leg in a straight line. Draw in on your deep abdominals, and you're going to squeeze the heels together and lift the knees apart. We're going to do our clam that's working our core and working that top glute. So breathing out to lift, breathing in to lower. Trying to maintain completely upright position of that hip. It helps sometimes to visualize that there's a torch on that top hip and that torch is just still aiming its beam down at the floor so that your hip's not rocking back as you open up those knees. And then bringing that hand down to support you in front, you're just going to float that half knee. So you're still keeping the 90 degrees at the knee. You just bring that leg forward to 90 degrees and back so it's level with the other leg. You don't want to take it behind you because that would make your back extend. So your final stopping point is when those legs are level again. So pick it forward, take it to the level of the other leg. Bring it forward, take it back. And you should still be feeling that in that glute. Breathing out to come forward, breathing in to take it back. One more, that leg will start to be feeling heavy and just straighten it up, keeping it at hip height. Little circles for me. Just drawing an imaginary beach ball type circle with that foot. Changing your direction, go the other way for me. Trying not to move at the hip, not to rock and roll at this pelvis. You're just lifting that leg. It can help to have this hand in the air because you can feel if you're twisting around, you've still got that shoulder blade nicely tucked back against the chest wall. And there's no need to look at the foot. Try and keep your gaze in front of you. Okay, and let that leg rest. Give it a little tap, probably feeling like it's done a lot of work. And let it drop in front of you. Stretch out that underneath leg. Float it up, lower it down. Float it up and lower it down. Float it up and lower. Float it up and lower. And let's see if we can do a little circle, just keeping that up in the air. Keep the breath flowing, make sure you're not breath holding. Change the direction of your circle and go the other way. Okay, stack those knees again before we move to do the other side. Both hands are in front of you. You're going to open up that chest for me and close it back down. So giving your pectorals a lovely stretch, keeping that hip forward. Just give a nice rotation into the thoracic spine. Really opening up that shoulder helps your daily posture for those of you that are working in offices or home desks. Breathing out, closing on your in-breath.
Okay, and then we're going to go through to the other side. So take your cushion to the other end of your mat. Just come up on your knees for a minute or two for me. And we're just going to step one leg forward. I want you to neutralize that pelvis, and that'll feel that stretch on the front of the leg there. Bring that same hand up and just reach it over for me, giving your side a nice elongated stretch and a good old stretch at the front of that hip joint. And then step that leg back, step the other leg forward. Again, neutralize that pelvis for me. Reach that hand up in the air. Drop the other hand so you're elongating out of the shoulder rather than collapsing here. And giving that hip flexor a nice stretch. And we'll give that about 10-second stretch. And release. And then we're going back down onto our other side. So hand goes reaching above your head. Tuck the cushion in between the ear and the shoulder. Neutralize that back. Have the feet level with the back. Hand lying down by your side, gazing forward along the mat, not looking down, so that you've got that shoulder blade tucked back. Draw in on those deep abdominals. And then when you're ready, on your out breath, you're lifting, closing on the in breath. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And then lifting that foot so that it's hip height. Bring the other hand to support you in front. Shoulder blade still tucked back. I'm going to bring a bent leg forward to 90 degrees and then hover it above the other leg. Breathing out for 2. Breathing in on the way back. Breathe it out. Two more to go. Final one. And then just straighten that leg out and we do our small circles. So again, this hip has to stay facing forward. Have that hand now on the top of the hip. Just reduces your balance a little bit. Don't make those circles too quick. Try and use a breath sequence, so an in sequence and an out sequence. Breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, breathing out. One more in that direction, then circle the other way. Okay, and rest that leg, let it come down in front of you. And we did 6, just lifting that lower leg. And then we start with our circles here. So you're just keeping that lower leg just off the ground. Change direction. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, stacking those legs again. Just bringing both hands in front of you. We're going to do our shoulder opening. The key here is keep that hip facing forward, core tucked in tightly, and then reach with that hand. Take it overhead, stretching through the front of your shoulder joint there, and close it down. So the head goes back with that movement. Your gaze is following that thumb, and back you go. Reaching behind, and closing up again. Reaching, drawing a rainbow type semicircle with that hand. Okay, and then over onto your tummies for me. Small cushion underneath your head. Hands, let's have the hands back down by the side. And we're going to curl in, stretching that quad, and curl the other leg. Just alternate knees. And then see if you can just do a reach. So we're curling the knee in and then reaching it away. Curling it in and then just reaching and stretching that leg. If that feels unstable in the spine, you can have your hands up at 90 degrees. So just a little easier. So just reaching that foot away. Okay, let the feet rest. Stretch the arms above your head. Head still staying down on that block. Just reach one arm away from you, and then the other arm reaches. Still trying to pull those shoulder blades tightly down and keeping the whole of the shoulder blade in contact with the chest wall. Reaching that arm forward, reaching away from you. So you just take the palm off the floor and reach. And reach. Reaching with the out breath, bringing the hand back to the floor with the in breath. And then let's put the arm and the leg together. So reaching opposite arm, opposite leg, and lower. Opposite arm, opposite leg, and lower. Opposite arm, opposite leg, and lower. Head's not getting involved, you're not lifting up. This is all about the core, not feeling too much rotation occurring in your lumbar spine. Or you don't want to feel one side of your pelvis rocking down into the mat. You're wanting to really draw in there to keep that pelvis level. Give me two, one more on each side. Fantastic. And we'll just come up out of that for a moment into that child's pose and just reach those fingers away. How are we doing on time? Okay. Just easing that back into a little bit of flexion and come back in to the neutral. Here, you want hands underneath your shoulders, knees underneath your hips, and we're just going to hollow and flatten to neutral. Hollow up, flatten to that neutral. Hollow up and flatten to neutral. Hollow up and flatten. Here, I want you to keep that 90 degree at the knee, and you're going to lift up to the ceiling and just give me little pulses. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and bring that leg back down. Pick up the other side, trying not to sway that hip too far. You're keeping that neutral spine. Push, 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 push that heel. And come back down. Same on the other side. So pushing that heel for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Back to the other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. One more set. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Last one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and rest back down. This time a straight leg is reaching out and coming back to the mat. Reach alternate legs away. 5, 6, 7, and 8. And this time we're going to do opposite arm, opposite leg. Keeping that core nice and tight, visualizing a tray of drinks on your back so that you're keeping that spine still, even though you're getting fairly gross movement of your arm and leg. Nose is down between your thumbs. Okay, and rest there. Tuck those toes underneath you, and we'll just do little hovers and back down. So breathing out to hover up, breathing in to lower. Breathe out to hover and in to lower. Really drawing in on your deep abdominals and loading a bit of pressure through those shoulders. Give me 2 more. Just gently hovering up, and then let those toes go and drop back into that child's pose. Just try and relax there, easing that spine, just gently rolling from side to side. So your weight bearing through the left knee, then the right knee. Just giving the shoulder a little stretch. Okay, back up to that 4 position, and we'll finish with a threading the needle. So you're just reaching through, reaching and looking up to the ceiling, reaching through. So you're bending that weight-bearing arms to allow yourself to drop, but you don't put that hand down onto the mat. It's just floating through that gap. Okay, I'm going to swap sides. So you're reaching up as far as you can, and then float it through, bending that weight-bearing arm. Breathing out, thread it through. Breathing in to reach up, breathe out to thread through. And rest both those hands again. Final time, just easing back. Walk those hands further forward and just release any stress through the spine. Have a couple of big breaths. Okay, and then turn yourselves over, and we'll just do a few stretches to finish off. So over onto your back, and bring that right leg up to the ceiling for me. Just a little bit of a stretch through the hamstring. Pull the toes up towards you. And just hold that tight for another 10 seconds. Take your awareness to your spine again. Have you got that neutral spine and the shoulder blades pinned closely down onto the mat? See if you can just ease that knee in just a little bit more with the out breath. Breathe in, stretch through the knee. Breathe it out and release that stretch. Pop that heel onto the opposite knee and widen out on that hip joint. Give that about 5 seconds. And then when you're ready, thread through and pick the other leg up off the ground. Remembering to breathe it out. And just as you breathe out, just give that extra little bit of stretch. And then let that leg go and pick the other leg up. Again, don't stress your neck or your shoulders here.
Just have those nice and relaxed and pull that knee in towards you, feeling that tightness down that hamstring. Pull the toes and that will bring it more behind the knee. And just as you lie here, try and use your breath sequence to try and get that knee a little bit straighter. Okay, bring that heel towards the opposite knee, widen out on that joint. And then pick the other leg up off the floor. Feeling that nice stretch underneath your bottom cheeks. And we'll give that 10 seconds. Okay. And then bring your knees together, roll onto your side. Hesitate there for a moment so you don't feel any dizziness as you come back up. And slowly bring yourself back up onto your feet. And then let's just reset ourselves up. Make sure we're happy with our feet position underneath our hips. Widen through those shoulders. And we're just going to reach one hand up, reach the other hand up, and just stretch. Okay, bringing those hands back to your side. Step one leg behind, the other leg forward, just easing into that calf stretch for me. And you're going to bring your hand across your body and just feel that nice stretch. And then take it overhead and ease it behind your back. Still trying to keep that neutral on the spine. And a nice steady stretch through the calf. And release. And then change your legs. So right leg goes behind you, push down through that heel. You can tell I didn't do a stretch class last week, nice and tight. Coming across your body, ease through. And then behind your back. And release. And we'll just have some big circles. And drop down, lift up. Drop down and reach. Last one. Thank you very much. Thank you for watching. And next week I'll probably do another intermediate class for you. Thanks a lot. Bye bye.